Season 1, Chapter 10, Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. It's almost deja vu for Malachi Wilson as he lines up for the final race of the season in Abu Dhabi. With nothing to lose or gain position-wise in the Drivers' Championship, he'll be hoping that this race will be good enough to see off 2022 on a high note.
It's the final chapter of the season then here at the spectacular Yas Marina circuit. It's a race where the pole sitter failed to finish in 3 of the first 4 events. A front row start here is by no means a guarantee of victory, so we go into battle once more as we get underway at the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. The Yas Marina circuit, just over 3.4 miles long with 21 corners and 2 very long back straights. There are 2 DRS zones going into the heavy braking zones of both turn 8 and turn 11 and offer plenty of potential for overtaking. The circuit comes with its fair share of tricky corners as well, in particular 15, 16 and 17, which will certainly test a driver's braking management. Anthony Davidson, a lot of talented drivers out on the track today, but what will stand out for you?
Well, Crofty, my focus is 100% on the front of the grid. Like you said, we're seeing lots of strong competition across those positions, so it would be super interesting to see the fight for that front spot. Personally speaking, I'm hoping for plenty of overtakes.
Let's run you through the driver grid order for today's exciting race. Sergio Perez will lead us away from pole position, and Valtteri Bottas will line up alongside. As we continue through the rest of the grid today, we have Hamilton, Leclerc, Lando Norris and Sainz, Giovinazzi, Ocon, Verstappen, they've taken a grid penalty, and Sebastian Vettel, Russell, Ricciardo, Lance Stroll, Wilson, Mick Schumacher, Fernando Alonso, Yuki Tsunoda and Pierre Gasly. They'll be starting further back after an earlier grid penalty. Latifi and Guan Yu Zhou. That's it then, it's time to go racing as we head to trackside for today's race.
After the points finish last race, let's aim to keep the momentum going.
What is going on, everybody? Zach RC here, welcome back to the channel and welcome along to the final episode of Season 1 of F1 the Prodigy story series, the final round of the 2022 season with Malachi Wilson looking to end off the year on a high note if we can. We're here in the final race season of the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. It's going to be a really enjoyable one. Abu Dhabi isn't always the best race, but hopefully we'll get something good out of it this year. Because last year's race we finished outside of the points, so it didn't go too well for us, but we're going to try and redeem ourselves. We've obviously got the championship battle up front between Hamilton and Verstappen, but that's of no concern to us in this last race. We go to 5 red lights now for the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. We've got to finish higher than our starting position in this final race. We're underway, off towards turn 1. We've got a decent start on the left of the Roberto Shoal, on the right. But there goes Schumacher as well on the outside, and there goes Pierre Gasly, who we out-qualified on Saturday. He comes underneath us trying to take the position away that we've got, but we've managed to hold on to it. And now we're on the inside of Russell trying to take the place of him. We've gone around the outside of the Williams man, and we've managed to take P12, so very good start from us there. We're going to try and pass Vettel if we can. We're going to stay behind Verstappen for the time being. Of course, he's racing for the championship against Hamilton today. Provided that he just scores points, then he will be the world champion of 2022. If Hamilton wins the race and Verstappen fails to score, then Lewis will be world champion. Regardless, though, we're continuing to push on around. We're on the outside of Verstappen, but he managed to get past us with the sheer straight line speed in that Red Bull compared to our AlphaTauri. The two of them just uncomparable. Of course, our car has gone backwards in development compared to everyone else. Regardless, we're going to try and dive to the inside if we can. There we go on the inside, and we have to back up and come very close to smashing into the back of Giovinazzi's car, damaging our front wing, but we've managed to get away with things there. Giovinazzi has pulled away to a gap about just over half a second. We're now in front of Verstappen. He'll be looking to come right back at us on the right hand side. There he goes to the outside looking for our P9 here. We're on the inside though. We've got the run going into the corner, and that should be enough to see him off for the time being. So we're currently 5 places up in our starting position. That's just what we need. Provided that we finish above 14th, then we will clear the chapter and finish the season off. Verstappen's on the inside there. He's forced us to go wide, so we've had to back out, and there he goes past us into P9. So we're back down to P10 again. We've still got to hold off Vettel and Russell behind him for the last spot in the points. If we can, we'll try and get points finished today, but if we can't, then it's not too much of a big deal. We don't have much more to lose in the Drivers' Championship. We can't lose or gain any positions. We can gain positions, but it require a race victory for us, and we simply can't do that in this AlphaTauri unless you have some serious luck. Regardless, though, on towards the second lap of the 28 to make up Abu Dhabi Grand Prix, and back down onto the back straight. The DRS will be getting deployed there in a lapse time, but Vettel doesn't need it. He's still closing us. We've got a yellow flag behind Sorry, yeah, but that's behind us. I'm not sure what's happened there. Someone must have had a mechanical failure in the race. Of course, as the season has gone further down, we've had a lot of drivers retiring due to wear. Fernando Alonso out of the race, so his 2022 ends off on a poor note. We've got Sebastian Vettel behind us, though. He's more of a contender. Of course, Vettel in his final race today in his F1 career. We're trying to see it off on a high note because, of course, he's retiring at the end of the year. We have to wait and see who will take his place at Aston Martin. We'll try and switch back on him going into the left-hander, and I'm sure he'll be very pleased with that. Very proud of us for making that move. Go through on the right-hand side, and that'll put us up into P10 once more. Vettel's lost all momentum, so he's forced to try and hold off Russell for the time being. But regardless, moving further on now to lap number 4 here. Once again going down the exact same straight, and Vettel's got DRS this time. He's got better go at us. There he goes on the left-hand side. We're going to try and squeeze him a bit, but he managed to find his way through. We're now on the inside, though, because he's moved back outside, and that's going to allow us to make the move back into the left-hand and force him out a little bit there. No, but all still nice, clean racing, and that's us back up into P10. And Russell's falling away quite a bit now, so it's just me and Vettel around here in the time being. Moving on now to the start of lap 5, we're going to make a change in our pit stop strategy if we can. We'll change to stop for soft tyres on lap 10 and then go mediums until the end of the race from there, so we're not quite sure when that will change. Regardless, over the curb we go there, and Vettel's now all over us here. Will he try and go for a move going into the left-hander? No, he won't. He stays in line for the time being. Smart move from him there, because he's going to have a better chance at us. With the DRS now through the grandstand section we go, and heading back down towards that back straight where the DRS will be deployed for him. We're going to try to hold him off as best we can. Most likely he'll get past us here. He's definitely going to get past us if he keeps going with this pace. He's got the DRS now on the left-hand side. We've given him the space. Let him go through. We're going to run right behind him with the toe there, and we'll try and move to the outside if we can, because he's defending the inside. We'll go a long way around, going around the Vettel. He goes over the curb, and that's enough for us to hold on to. We've got over the curb ourselves there. We kind of bounced up in the air for a second, but we're still right for the time being. Vettel's still there, though. He's got another DRS zone to try and capitalise on us. So there he goes on the right-hand side, making his way back up into P10 once again, but we've got the inside. Here comes Russell. He very nearly prevents us from going any further up the inside. He could have tried to make it through abreast there, but he allowed us. Vettel's gone back behind us, and we're now back up into P10. But once again, here's Russell now. He's managed to make his way past Vettel. Now he wants to go at P10. Of course, he's only scored 3 points this season, so it'd be great for him if he could score some more, but we're not going to let him do it without a fight anyway, so we're going to squeeze him on the inside, and that allows us to push right through there as we go further on into the lap, and we're still running ahead of Russell, who's only just right behind us, so we have to be very careful here. Can't make any mistakes. We've gone wide though there, and there goes Russell flying through, and there goes Vettel with him. Oh no, this has gone really poorly for us here. Gasly's on the inside. Actually, trying to be very careful with him. We run wide as a result, but regardless, Russell and Vettel have now found their way past us, and that's not good. Of course, we're still currently passing our objective, but we want to get points if we can. So right now, things are looking bleak in the way of points. They're already pulling away here on lap 7. Here comes Gasly, trying to make matters worse. He's gone up the inside, trying to take P12 from us. We're going to be there on the outside by half a car length, so we're going to move right through, squeeze Gasly a little bit, and that's all we need really to hold on to P12, because he's already behind us going into the corner. We've still got DRS and Vettel, but it's not going to have much help on us here. So regardless, towards the end of lap, or at the end of lap number 10 now, Verstappen's just in front of us. He's at the fastest lap. Now come in for our first pit stop of the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. We're going on to another set of soft tyres. We're going to run those for around 10 laps or so if we can. We'll have to see what the strategy, what really says, because I know we've got to change onto the medium tyres later on in the race. So on go the new softs as we pull away from our pit box. Now the Haas team are getting ready to serve. It looks like Yuki Tsunoda in the Haas car. Of course, he hasn't had the best of seasons in that first season. Haas is in our old seat because we stopped with him at the start of the season essentially. Regardless, things aren't looking good for us here because we've come back out in P17 now, and we're currently failing our objective, which is to finish higher than the starting position, which is P14. So things aren't looking good for us. We've got some work to do, so we're going to have to get going on that as soon as we can. Our first target here is the Williams of Nicholas Latifi. Now, if you'll think back to last year's Abu Dhabi Grand Prix, we spent the late stage of the race stuck behind him or just trying to defend from him. We managed to get past us on the last lap. Of course, we weren't fighting for anything. We were fighting for, I believe, P13, if I'm not mistaken. He managed to find his way past us, so let's try and get revenge here. We're closing in on him big time with a DRS. We can actually have a go at him going into this left-hander. It looked impossible from a distance, but here we go now on the inside. There we go, up on the inside of Latifi, and that allows us up into P16. So we've got to gain 2 more places. Latifi had another go there. Tried looking on the outside, but not going to get anywhere with that. So regardless, though, on to lap number 12. Gasly's 3.7 seconds up the road, but he's not concerned right now. Latifi is our main concern, because we've got to try and defend P15 from him before we can go towards P14. We'll hold him off on the outside. Will he look inside? Yes, he does. There he goes, but he doesn't have enough time to manage to sneak in, but he's still on the inside. Fair enough, but he had to move in quite a bit to try and catch us out. But we just got to get up early to catch up Malachi Wilson, so we're still holding on to P15, but it's not over yet because he's got DRS again, and he's a way better run this time. There he goes. Here comes Guan Yu Zhou looking to try and capitalise if he can, so he could potentially join this battle in a lap or two. Regardless, we're still on the inside there of Latifi, and Zhou may have a go at Latifi there because he's got a really poor exit. There he goes, he's looking inside, and he's got P16 briefly. But there goes Latifi back into the left-hander, and he's got P16 back. So regardless, we're now up in P12. That's because a lot of drivers have chose to pit. So on lap 18 here, we're only running these softs for 8 laps, but that's all they're really good for. So I'm going to change on to medium tyres, and those should get us towards the end of the Grand Prix. So in we come now on lap 19 for the change onto these medium tyres, which, like I say, will take us to the end. And Guan Yu Zhou's coming in to get his pit stop done behind us. In he goes there, so we're going to move out and take our position back. We are still in P16 though, so we've got work to do. Hopefully when the pit stops cycle back around, we'll be in a better position. We may have to still make some passes, so it's definitely not over yet. If we finish in P14, that's not enough because we still have to finish above our starting position, so it's P13 or higher. And right now we need to gain 3 more places in order for us to clear the chapter. Right, so keep on pushing. We've got 9 more laps to go on these medium tyres. We're going to push on to lap 23 here. We are up to P14 now. The pit stops are cycled round. We've managed to get the edge on someone. The yellow flag's out in the corner we're coming towards. I'm not sure what's happened there. It may have been a spin. It may be a mechanical failure. And someone's pulled over. It's George Russell in the Williams, who we were battling earlier for points in the Grand Prix. And Russell's now spun out. He's running in the top 10. And he must have spun the car because he's just sitting right there. I'm assuming he's waiting to go back through. We are now passing our objective. We're up into P13. That's a very good positive for us there, but we are going to have to try and see if we can hold off Latifi and Zhou come the end of the race, because they are closing on us because their medium tyres are a bit less wear than ours do. Gone way wide there, and that's going to allow Latifi and Zhou to close in a bit more. So we're going to be defending from them on the last lap here, so it's all down to us to try and hold them off. They're now within a second, so we can have DRS on us. It's going to be crucial here to move on to this final lap of the race and the season, no less. Latifi right behind us, so the gap down to less than half a second. He's gone wide there, and that's going to allow him through on the outside. There goes Latifi. He's underneath us. Hamilton's won the race, but it's not enough for him to become world champion. Latifi's passed us in SDRS, but we're not about to let this season repeat last year. We're going to try and dive back up the inside if we can. Last year we weren't close enough. This time we are up the inside of Latifi. Very good stuff indeed. It's a bit different now, mate. We're in an AlphaTauri compared to last year when we were in a Haas. So that's job done. We've managed to find our way past Latifi, and that should just about do it. There, but Latifi's not finished yet. He needs to try for one more time on the right hand side, going into the left hand. Do we have enough to hold him off? He gets past on the outside. We've still got the inside line going into the left hand, and that should do it. And that is all she wrote for this Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. As we make our way to the last couple of corners now, we've passed our objective. We're taking P13 here in the last race of the season. Hamilton's won the race. Verstappen has a lock on the championship. We round the final corner to complete 2022, chapter clear and season clear. The first season of F1 The Prodigy, the custom story mode series, is officially complete. Hope you guys have enjoyed it as much as I have. Max Verstappen, though, is your 2022 Drivers' World Champion. He came so close last year, narrowly beaten by Lewis Hamilton in the last couple of races, and it is Lewis Hamilton who takes the victory in this last race of the season, but it wasn't enough as he needed Verstappen to not score in order to become World Champion, and he did score points. He scored 12 of them, to be precise, but Hamilton does win the race from Bottas, and then the Ferrari of Charles Leclerc rounds off the podium. In this, the last race of 2022, what a story-bound season it's been. It's been really enjoyable. Hope you've all enjoyed it. So we'll take a look now at the final results for this Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. It's Hamilton who wins the race, followed closely by Bottas, and it's Leclerc in third, Max Verstappen fourth, wrapping up the title, Lando Norris in fifth place, Carlos Sainz in sixth, Antonio Giovinazzi seventh, Sergio Perez in eighth place takes fastest lap along with it, Esteban Ocon in ninth, and Pierre Gasly takes the final point on offer in 2022. He finishes the race in 10th. So looking now at the end of the Drivers' Championship, it's Max Verstappen who wins the championship by 10 points over Lewis Hamilton. Valtteri Bottas back there in third, then it's Perez in fourth, Lando Norris in fifth place, Charles Leclerc sixth, Carlos Sainz in seventh place, Pierre Gasly is in eighth, Antonio Giovinazzi ninth, and we come home from Malachi in 10th place. Not too bad at all. Definitely not too bad a first season. And for those of you who don't think I do keep a look at the bottom half of the table, I do. Got Alonso, Vettel, Stroll, Ocon and Russell, the last 5-point scorers in 2022, with Daniel Ricciardo, Nicholas Latifi, Guan Yu Zhou, Mick Schumacher and Yuki Tsunoda all failing to score points. So I do keep track of the whole table throughout the season, and this is what it's amounted to. So looking at the Constructors Championship, Mercedes win the Constructors title once again over Red Bull, and it's McLaren to come home in third, beating Ferrari once again. And it's AlphaTauri in fifth place. We haven't done too bad this season, to be entirely honest. Then it's Alpine in sixth, beating out Aston Martin for seventh place. Williams come home in eighth place, and Alfa Romeo and Haas both failed to score points. They finished the season joint ninth. So with that then, you guys, that's all there really is left to say. I've really enjoyed making this first season. I hope you guys have enjoyed watching it. It's been a really enjoyable project on my part, and I'm looking forward to seeing where we continue to take it over the next couple of months or so. But I'll be taking a few weeks out of this series just to get myself back in the right frame and keep doing it. But with that, you guys, we'll keep making videos, and with that, I hope you all join me for the next video. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe, and I shall see you in my next video. So thank you guys so much for watching once again, and it's goodbye. Malachi makes it to the finish line, and the sun sets on the 2022 season. Our rookie joined AlphaTauri amid controversy and finishes his full season, having proved the doubters wrong. Hopefully 2023 will be as good, if not better, than this year was.